This is the 40 Days for Life podcast with your host, Sean Carney.
Hello, and thank you for joining us today on the 40 Days for Life podcast. I'm Sean Carney, the president of 40 Days for Life, and your host for this podcast, which is dedicated to helping you end abortion where you live. It is inevitable. We were, unfortunately, not able to escape today's topic. We must cover it. It is in the headlines again. We have had many viewers and listeners request this topic, and we will break down the good, the bad, the ugly, the myths, the truths of the Taylor Swift backlash. So somebody who always has backlash and doesn't need to shake is Mr. Steve Carlin.
Here we are.
Shake it off, baby.
Shake it off, yeah.
And Ramona is here. Woo! She's got her Freddy Krueger glove. She's ready to kill old Taylor. I'm telling you, we're going to get into this. And I have been in too many awkward moments in my life. I'm very uncomfortable because I find myself wondering why we're always talking about Taylor Swift and what Taylor has done wrong. She's been with us for like 25 years. I don't know if it's success. I don't know what it is. But all of a sudden, like 5 years ago, everybody's like, we must hate her all the time. So we will cover this. She's gone back and forth. So now the Swifties came for Taylor, okay? After this,
her own people
came after her because
The call is coming from inside the house.
She sings about being married and having children. And so some of the feminists are saying she's a sellout because she's going to marry Travis Kelce for the Chiefs, and who's a man. So we're all happy about some of the basics that
he's not a cat
surround this story. He's not a cat. Seems to be from a very normal family that, like, chugs beer and smashes the can over their face and beats each other up on the coffee table. So, it's a heterosexual relationship, which we're very happy about in these uncertain times. So we will get to Taylor Swift, and I'll try not to sing. I'm not a Swiftie, but I do like some of her early country. Steve, you've been brushing your teeth or taking a shower, and you've just, totally, she wears short skirts, I wear T-shirts. Can't you see that happening with Steve? Yeah. Like 2006, Steve? Mm-hmm. And Laura's like, what's going on in there? Nothing. Am I right?
I prefer Luke Bryan to Taylor Swift.
Whatever you. There's one. Taylor Swift over Luke Bryan, or Luke Bryan over.
I'd take Luke Bryan over Taylor Swift.
Yeah. I would too. I would take a lot of people over Taylor Swift. Okay, so this is kind of a cultural phenomenon. Are we bantering about anything? Do we have a topic?
Nothing lined up in the queue.
Okay.
It seems like a bantery topic. This is not how abortion pills work, right?
I think, yeah. It's actually a little bit of a reprieve from abortion pills we've been talking about a lot lately. But this is an interesting thing because I have a theory. And then we'll go. I want to say this before we go through the facts because I don't know the facts. And I like commenting on things that I don't have facts on. So I'm just a normal person trying to live my life, I think. Okay, I have daughters, okay? They're not like crazy Taylor Swift fans, but they like Taylor Swift. And I like Taylor Swift like early on, and I have categories for her. She was like country, and then like ho, and then normal pop star, and now woman who's like, hey, I want to get married and have kids, but I have taken over the industry. So I mentioned the bad in there, which was the ho part. The good is just America. I don't think that she has that great of a voice. I think she's a phenomenal entrepreneur. I think she works very hard. And from what I've heard and read, she works very hard. When she did the Eras tour, she would run for 3 hours on the treadmill and do the rehearsal so that her body would have the endurance to actually do these crazy performances that she does. So she works hard. And she took over an industry and is like now bigger than the Beatles and bigger. And when you do that, it happens in sports. There was this anti-Chicago Bulls faction of society. There's the anti-Tom Brady people. They're like glad the guy got divorced. You're like, but divorce is bad. You don't have to like Tom Brady. And all of a sudden, when Taylor Swift got big, she became like the devil. But she's been around for like 25 years or 20 years. I just don't, I can't figure out what changed to where people lost their peace, their inner peace, because of Taylor Swift's success.
I don't think it has anything to do with her success, but rather her image and what she's selling, the message. Because she was your average girl next door.
Tone? It's her image.
You got this essay?
Yeah, you got this essay?
I think she's rolling. Keep going.
Yeah. Preach it.
Well, I think for the listener, the viewer is going to be like, why are we talking about Taylor Swift? But I think the reason that it's important, and I pay attention to what's happening in pop culture, because that's...
Well, she's turning more traditional, which has been the trend for the last
Well, that's
year.
the perception.
Oh, see, part of the problem with this podcast is that Ramona's unreasonable. She hates Taylor Swift. She is like, crucify him, crucify him. She is just on the front lines with the Pharisees. So it's hard to get. I think I represent the middle, which is, I think she's had a lot of.
So you're like in three camps. We love Taylor, we idolize Taylor, we want to be Taylor. There's the camp that hates her, wants to crucify her, and the middle.
Yeah, and I'm not in the cult part. I'm in like there's a lot of musicians. Why do we always talk about this one? And they're like, she's evil. And I'm like, there are some that are really evil. I don't think she's in that category, frankly.
I don't necessarily think it's that she's evil. It's just this influence that she has that concerns me as a woman and as a mother of young girls. Although, thankfully, my young girls could care less about Taylor Swift.
Me too. And I think that's part of the... Yeah, but she's a celebrity. She
part of
doesn't
the
really influence us.
But this is the upbringing. You know, this is part of how you bring your kids up to, idolize God and look towards the saints as, the people you look up to.
We're just cutting
versus...
Steve out of this podcast. Let's just debate right here. How did I end up a Taylor Swift defender? And that bothers me. But I just started, it wasn't like a group and these guys were going off and I was like,
oh, really?
Taylor Swift done? Like,
Mm-hmm.
If your daughter turns out a hoe, it's your fault. Don't blame Taylor Swift. You're a bad father. How's that? But there was just all we do is talk about her. The last 3 or 4 years, people quit watching NFL games. It's not her fault that she's going to see her boyfriend play. Now, this is where he's in this camp of crazy protect the NFL guy. But so they shoot to her. They cut to her, right? And then there was like, oh, I don't care about seeing Taylor Swift or all that. But, of course, the NFL ratings are through the roof. Is she going to the game? Is she not going to the game? And all of that. And I didn't blame her for that.
Who did you blame? Nobody.
It's Fox. They're smart. They're in TV. The biggest
true.
celebrity in the world at the game. Show her.
This is amazingly, the Taylor Swift conversation we're having right now is the same conversation as a Jerry Jones conversation we had a month ago, where I said, I thought that Sean loves Jerry Jones, owner of the Cowboys. I said, I thought Sean would care more about winning. But Sean admires Jerry Jones, the businessman. Like, yes. Hey, my team won 15 games. Yeah, well, my team signed the first contract with Pepsi. That's kind of where it is. This, I think, is the same thing. I like music because the music is good, and you're like, but I like Taylor Swift because she conquered the industry.
She started on Facebook before Facebook was anything, right? She posted her music on Facebook, was one of the first people to do that, which just sounds insane, right? Now it's common, but way back when, 2000, she would do it. She was 16.
She was the youngest person ever signed to Sony.
Wow.
At what age?
I think it was 14.
And I'm saying this respectively of her. Luke Combs, who has a phenomenal voice, right? He'll be on Twitter, and I can't do his voice, but whatever. Like, today we gonna record, and he'll just start singing spontaneously, and it's awesome. And my brother-in-law, who's a great musician, pointed out, he's just got a great voice and can sing. He's like, Taylor Swift can't do something like that. She has to make up for it in other ways, and there's probably some voice enhancement stuff. But she's limited on her talent, and she took over the industry. That's what's impressive. She's like the linebacker that doesn't have size or speed but makes all the tackles.
She's Rudy now.
No, Rudy sucked and never played. Okay, and was self-absorbed. She may be self-absorbed, but she's definitely not on the sidelines. So that I just don't understand. I guess I still feel like she's still like this small town girl from this is where you're going to disagree, and she made it big. And what Kanye did to her was shameful. Kanye was very bad to Taylor Swift. He was very bad, and
but
know
the
it.
truth is she wasn't organically made. Like, she didn't come into the industry.
No. They took her over.
Her father was already a huge executive or some sort.
Yeah.
Like, this was all conspired.
Yeah. But you got to get up in the morning, and you can't be doing heroin at 2 a.m. And you there's been a lot of bands and a lot of superstars that just show up and flounder. I mean, she. This was a 20-year hike, switching genres, which for sure helped. She's a country music sellout, but there's a lot of people like that. But I think from the work ethic and the entrepreneurial standpoint, it's very impressive what she has done. And just little stuff. Releasing a single on a CD. So you have to physically go buy the CD to play it on your CD player. Like, that's genius, because you get all the money for it and you skip Spotify and all these things that have kind of ruined music. There's just some things that she can do that only she can do, that it's pretty remarkable how she got, to this level. What I didn't understand is the hate. Because you can bring up, like we do it jokingly with Luke Bryan, you're like, I hate Luke Bryan. And that's like the end of it. But you just don't like him, and you don't like his style and all of that. You don't actually like hate Luke Bryan and think he's a danger to society. And people do that with Taylor Swift. And this is my issue, and I've mentioned it before on this podcast. Remember, I'm crazy. You don't want to get in here. There are people that get more upset about Taylor Swift than Planned Parenthood. And it's like, you just think everything ties back to abortion. Damn straight it does. And that's my issue, is you'll just see people go on and on about how evil Taylor Swift is. And if you question Netflix, you're crazy. And I understand having Netflix. I understand not having Netflix. But there's just a lot of influences out there that are not Taylor Swift. I just never got I understood the attention when she started dating Bonehead, and they were like, "Rah!" and she was the little country singer girl.
Bonehead meaning
Kelsey.
Okay.
Just, yeah.
I was like, she's a serial dater. So
the funny thing, the moment, one of my favorite Taylor Swift moments is when they won the Super Bowl. Okay, and she's on the field, and she's like genuinely out of the picture. Like, she's like, I don't want to be a distraction, but I want to be here to support my man. And she's kind of like looking up at him, like, I'm proud of you. And he gets up to the microphone and he like chugs a beer and he's like, ah! Like, it's like textbook meathead. Like, and she's sitting there going, okay, like, we gotta have some dignity here. Like, I'm worth $5 billion. But that was kind of a funny moment. But she got all the attention for dating him, and I understand the media attention. I don't really blame her for that. But I don't know where the Taylor Swift is the biggest threat in the culture war, where that came from.
So I'm kind of checked out on some of this stuff. You'll be surprised to find out I'm not in and up to date on things that are cool.
You're going to be up to date when we start getting emails on this podcast, my friend.
Yes. Are there actually people who are saying she's like, I'll put my cards on the table. I don't like Taylor Swift. I think her music is bad. I don't like what she stands for. I think she's phony and manufactured. I don't like any of those things. But I don't know that I think she's public enemy number one. Like, I think she's bad in terms of her influence in the culture, but I don't see her as are there actually people who think she is the driving force of all that is bad and evil in the culture? That guy actually exists?
Yes, and maybe this is because I have teenage daughters.
Okay.
So you know how when you are learning to drive, you're in driver's ed, every relative comes up and is like, you just really need to be careful at night. And you're like, no, I got it. And never, I don't care where you are, never drink and drive. Call me. Everybody's giving you their driver tips. That's, to me, my experience has been like my teenage daughters getting that from people all the time just because they're teenage girls. So it's just like, we got to talk about Taylor.
Oh.
Yeah, that kind of thing. And it's not drugs or bad boys or, drunk driving or any of those things. It's Taylor Swift. Your daughters could be listening to Taylor Swift. It is. You're laughing, but that's a thing.
Taylor is the new Harry Potter.
Yeah, but with Harry, so Mary Lisa and I don't like Harry Potter. We believe in all the devil stuff. We were those crazy parents, and we didn't allow our kids to do Harry Potter, to read Harry Potter, and we're big readers and all of that. I am 50-50 on whether that's the right decision. I mean, Peter Kreeft says,
I love Harry
right,
Potter.
Right, exactly. Peter Kreeft, Raymond Arroyo says Harry Potter's fine. Peter Kreeft says they said they're fun. And they're like, some exorcists say that it's the devil. He's like, they're fun. It's harmless. And so I just went the super conservative route on that. That reading a book is, to me, much more powerful than liking some songs. And now I know we have like the satanic, crazy heavy metal and all that, but
or the explicit hip hop with
sure,
derogatory,
kill a cop,
and
yeah, treating women, objectification of women and all that.
Horrendous.
But like, I just don't give Taylor Swift that much credit with some, and I'm sure some of her songs are bad, and we're going to get into those. I have no doubt that some of them are probably really, really bad. But reading 15 Harry Potter books, and it may be really, really bad for your kid, was too much of a risk for me. But, of all these artists that kind of pop up, I'm like, I don't know if I'm, going.
Well, I think the distinction between Harry Potter and Taylor Swift is that Harry Potter is a fantasy. It's just make-believe, and Taylor Swift is a real person. And
see, I say the opposite. I think that Harry Potter staggers more into the demonic to get you possessed and to take the divine power and manipulate it into witchcraft. Told you I was crazy.
I see it as a metaphor of good versus evil.
Of course, and it could, and that's a Peter Kreeft's take. Okay, but that's a much deeper, higher level. Either way, you love Harry Potter, you hate Harry Potter. It's a respect there of like, that's a real thing.
But you can have those conversations with your kids about that.
For sure.
But with Taylor Swift, it's like, how do you have, obviously you still have conversations about the lyrics, her behavior.
She sleeps around.
Yep, all of this. But I think when you think about the fact that she has almost 600 million followers, 600 million followers, like she's the most followed person in the world across all social media platforms. You have to stop and think what.
Right next to Steve Carlin.
Steve's number 2.
He's got 400 million followers.
I think I've got 30, but I never post, so those people are wasting their time.
There you go.
And I think my biggest concern with that, though, is that we live in an era of fatherlessness, and feminism is very toxic. And you have a lot of young girls and young women who grew up with her. And when she started off, it was very bubblegum, very innocent, very sweet girl next door. And those same young girls grew up with her and then saw the change in her behavior, the just promiscuous. And it's always been very,
and
what I think is,
didn't she? So country girl,
and then all of a sudden pop,
and then creepy. What's the scary one? The scary album. She looks like.
Yeah, I'm not familiar, because I think when it comes to Taylor Swift, it's one of those things where sure, there are songs of hers that I like. I just pretend, like any other artist, like
it's all
like
entertainment.
Right.
Anybody with talent's a wacko.
Right. So it's like but I think the concern for conservative women, Christian women, is you try to find the balance, right? Like the balance between, oh yeah, I enjoy entertainment, but there's a line that you draw.
Yeah.
Where you separate the music from the artist, and that artist doesn't become your idol. And there's so many young girls and women who literally idolize Taylor Swift. And it's so bad for women. And I think maybe when we think about like, why do so many people hate her? It's usually coming from other women, right? Like, you're not going to find men necessarily who are like hate
This
because they don't
is-
care. because
Steve's
men-
face is the response to Taylor Swift. Like, I could give a crap. Like, he literally is
So
thinking
I'll
about.
just sit here and talk to
No,
you
he's
and-
like, am I going to trade a tight end on my fantasy football
Yeah.
team?
How
for the
long does
weekend?
an ACL take to heal in
Exactly.
optimal conditions?
So that I can improve my fantasy team.
Steve's face.
I think, and the reason I'm glad we're doing this podcast is because this comes up at, we just had Thanksgiving. This comes up at different events.
Well, even my own mother, who is 72 years old,
Okay.
comes out of her room and she's like, "Ugh, they're talking about Taylor Swift again." Like she's watching like Good Morning America
Right.
or whatever it is that she's watching, and she's like, "I swear, they can't go one single day without listening to Taylor Swift."
Yeah.
Every single day, every time I turn on the media in any form, they always have to mention Taylor Swift.
So I'm coming at it of a standpoint of how did we get here? Why do they do that? She's just been a really famous person. She got at the top of the industry, but why the obsession every day? And your point, because I'm trying to make her look like a victim or a successful person. Your point is this is all wanted. And not just wanted by her, but this was all set up by the machine.
Inspired.
And I do believe that because of her horrible political takes, which we're going to get to. But because all the Kamala endorsed, they're all paid for all that.
Mm-hmm.
That's all contracts. She knows it's going to cost her. But if she can make some money, enough money off of it. And what did Kamala give Beyonce?
Oh my gosh.
$2 million?
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, they're just throwing money at people to get endorsements. So yeah, this is the political views. Of course, she's a huge pro-abort, Taylor. All right. Oh, I'd even defend you for 2 seconds. Okay. She endorsed Harris Waltz. She wrote on Instagram, "I was so heartened and impressed by her selection of running mate Tim Waltz." That's not written by Taylor Swift. That's not how people talk.
Nobody likes Tim Waltz.
But also, I was so heartened and impressed. Like, we got to build her up. Taylor's got to have a respect for her as the most powerful woman in the world and all this. By the selection of running mate Tim Waltz, who has been standing up for LGBTQ plus rights, IVF, and a woman's right to her own body for decades. 100% written by a political
And she signed that post, childless cat lady.
childless cat
and that's
lady.
where she has the image and she's holding the cat.
And
She's holding the
This
cat.
is not just a state, like whoever this is written by, Taylor, a publicist, Kamala herself.
Yale intern.
This is a distillation of everything that was just miserable about the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And that's why I can't stand her. I don't know much about her. I know
Right.
a few of her songs, but like this, I don't care what her name is or who it is. Somebody who says this and then signs it childless cat lady, like,
You're out.
yeah, I'm out.
Here's my point on all this. This should make our blood boil, and it's awful, and shut up and sing. We don't want to hear about your politics. She has zero substantive influence. This is why these people yelling at me or yelling at my kids, like, you can't watch Taylor Swift. It's like, there's a lot of stuff you can't watch. There's a lot of stuff you should never see or hear. And I'm like, she's not in my top 50, and she's ruining our youth. That's a tough argument when she sends out this tweet and Kamala gets it handed to her in the election. Taylor Swift has zero political influence over these 600 million people. They all like her. They like her music. They like her fashion. They're interested in
Yeah, because we saw the vote.
I
Like,
know.
The
Of the Taylor Swift followers.
Exactly.
And they all are interested in the boyfriend and the music, not the politics. So sometimes I think I hate it when it's like, if you listen to this, if you watch this, you're an idiot and you can't think for yourself. And that's never true. They said it about Trump. He's got you all fooled. You're stupid. And it's like, no, he doesn't talk down to us. You talk down to us. And it's the same with Taylor. She's talking down to her people. Hello, I'm really famous and I'm somebody. You're nothing and have no life and no money. He's supported IVF for years. Signed, Cat Lady. It's so condescending.
15-year-old girls are getting excited about Taylor's take on IVF. right?
They probably don't even know what it is.
Right.
Yeah, it is such a force. This is why the left they have all the celebrities and they don't know how to use them, and they don't get that even when they use them, because of the way that they use them, it hurts them.
Well,
It hurts them.
There was a celebrity, I want to say Jennifer Lawrence, and they said, "Why? How come you're not talking about politics?" And she said, "Because nobody cares what celebrities have to say about it."
Oh yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's a great line.
Yeah, I guess my disgust for her, whether she has influence or not, whether it's commercials, the news, the football game, I want to escape from this childless cat lady stuff, and you can never get away from her. She's everywhere.
So,
Yeah, you can't escape her.
But the reason that okay, well, let's wrap up this part, and then I want to back up a little bit. Okay, so on the overturning of Roe, she retweeted Michelle Obama's response, calling the decision horrifying, but added her own thoughts on the matter, stating, "I'm absolutely terrified that this is where we are, that after so many decades of people fighting for women's rights to their own bodies, today's decision has stripped us of that." We should also note she was raised Catholic and fell away from her faith. I think her brother still practices. He went to Notre Dame. Not that that means anything, but I don't know if her parents still practice, but she was raised Catholic and I believe went to Catholic school, which is one of Steve's favorite lines.
As someone who went to 12 years of Catholic school.
Okay, so let's back up. So she's a big, whatever, feminist, takes over the world.
Or at least appears to be that way.
Sure. But deep down, now, this is why she's getting attacked. She wants to be married and have kids, and I think she said she would want to take a break from her career to raise her children. So then all the crazies come out and say, "But you've said this for the last 13 years, and you're a phony, and you're a sellout," and she's getting all this flack.
All of her followers, all the Swifties have felt betrayed.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
Not all. That's not fair.
No. And I think that so the way I've kind of looked at her is I ignore everything she says because she's a stupid child now who's being condescending. And
who's 35 years old?
But she's growing up. And 35-year-old women look up and go, the biological clock is ticking.
We're not that young.
We're not that young. A couple of young kids having a good time. But it's that and your biological clock. But to take heat for that, like people grow up and you have to allow people to grow up. I can't stand Jane Fonda. Like the Jane Fondas and borderline Bill Maher, but he's kind of somehow getting smarter even though he's like 70 years old. Those old people that are still angry, no use for them. I can't stand that stuff because they have spent decades doing all this garbage. Taylor Swift's like a kid who's really been in a bubble since she was 15 years old. And I guess I just have a little bit of longer leash of like her horrible influence on the world. Joe Biden had a horrible life, in my opinion. He had a horrible impression on the world. He had a terrible impact on the world, particularly later on when he didn't even know what was going on, which is even worse. But that's a long, bad life, in my opinion. Not judging his soul, but he did a lot of bad that actually impacted people's life, okay? And I would say the same for Obama. Nobody divided our country like Obama. Nobody made people feel useless more than Obama. He was the epitome of us and them, as he marketed himself as the great uniter, and just, enhanced all evil in our country, particularly the abortion industry. Taylor Swift's a child. She's like 32 years old.
She's 35. But
35
but
now, but that's when the album came out. I'm saying at her worst, she was probably like 28, right? When she did what's the name of the album?
I don't remember.
She's in like all black, and you're like, ugh.
But I think, you're looking at it from the perspective of a male, right?
Revolution. I'm getting close.
I don't remember.
with an
I know what
R.
you're talking about, but I don't know.
In the Eras
I didn't
tour.
follow. Right.
There's
Yeah,
like country girl,
follow any
library
of it.
girl, nerdy girl, creepy goth girl, and then there's another one.
I think for me as a woman, because you're looking at it the perspective of a male, is I think and maybe this is where there's this underlying feeling of anger towards Taylor Swift for me because I'm like, what is it? What is it about her that absolutely gets under my skin, right? And I think it's because and it's not just Taylor Swift. It's, the Kardashians, like all of these women, right, that are selling.
Can we pause there real quick?
Sure.
Because that's a good point. So as a guy, I can understand you not liking the Kardashians, but they're all fake and had a million surgeries.
But so is Taylor.
Oh,
Like
I thought Taylor was just...
I'm talking about personality-wise.
No,
So
physically.
right.
But Taylor hasn't had any surgery.
Like a nose maybe or something,
right.
not something
But
dramatic. where
she's still going for the little girl next door thing.
Right.
But Kim Kardashian, no one looks like that. That's
Right.
just like unnatural.
But if you look at the women on social media that have gotten BBLs, who have lip injections, you've got
don't Google any of this. I don't know what a BBL.
BBL is a Brazilian butt lift. And so you have
The problem is, I was listening to you say that phrase, which will never be repeated in this room ever again.
That's what it is.
And I was looking at Steve. Steve, when was the last time you had a Brazilian butt lift?
It sounds like it could
Weeks?
be.
Months? Isn't that just when you go to Golden Corral and have a heyday?
I thought
That's an American butt lift.
I thought it was back in the day WWE wrestling thing. Like
Yeah.
Jake the Snake Roberts take him to the mat with a Brazilian butt lift. Step into a Slim Jim.
It sounds like a high school football drill. BBLs!
Oh my gosh.
Up top and 5.
Okay, see, I was making a good point.
You were.
And I don't know what it was or anything. I just heard.
Okay, but BBL.
Well, it's building up to the good point. So you
But
have
don't
these
women hate
who,
the women that do the fake stuff and they're like, but I like so-and-so because she's natural.
Well, yeah, I mean, in theory, we should.
Okay.
Like, we should want to love ourselves as we are. But you have a whole generation of women who are on social media wanting to look like a Kardashian, wanting to look like the next, whatever the beauty trend is, whether it's lip injections, face contouring, whatever it is that they're doing, fillers and all the fillers and the changing the way they look, the way their body, because of these people who have influence over the culture, right? And so Taylor Swift is one of those women.
What should Steve get? What would you suggest for Steve out of your litany of plastic surgery?
My fillers come from brisket.
That's
Not
right.
Filling out those cheeks.
That's right.
Okay, see, this is funny to you because you're men, right? Like you're just like, this is ridiculous.
I'm
but
baffled.
it's so
This
sad.
is like I just.
But
entered
for
into
me
different-
as a woman, it's sad because I see women altering what they look like, they're not accepting who they are because they're following all of these trends. And so what makes Taylor dangerous, in my opinion, is that she is at the age and has the money and the wealth to do whatever she wants. And so she's selling this idea to young women that they don't need a man, that they can, they can be a serial dater.
They don't
And
need
then-
a BBL.
And then when they reach 35 years old, they're alone. They can't find anyone.
Right.
They're wanting to have children, and now they're at an age where they can't because they're not rich and famous and can get whoever they want, like Taylor Swift.
That's a really good point.
And so that is why I see it as dangerous because you've got girls, young women who've grown up with her, who emulate her, who want to either look like her. They were all over TikTok and Instagram dressing up like her for the Eras tour. Like these
Because
are
the Eras
women,
tour, it's every era.
yeah, and so they
she
were
has a different
literally
outfit
dressing
for
up
every
like
era.
Taylor, and
Yeah.
and so it's like these are women who are emulating her, and who have bought into this lie. We don't need to be married. We don't need to have children to be happy.
Well,
And now
she
stabbing
pops up
them
and
in the
says,
back.
"Oh, just kidding. I'm engaged and happy, and I want
Which
kids,
is
and I'm gonna
easy
stay
to
at home."
do when you're rich and famous.
This is a good
It's a
take.
good point. It's
Yeah.
a very good take.
Because she goes
It's a
from
very good-
childless cat lady to catless child
I told
lady.
you I had good takes, guys.
Yeah.
So, okay, let me ask you. But now we're blaming her for coming around to that which is natural.
I'm not.
Like,
I'm not.
It's you lose.
It's not that I'm blaming. It's that it makes me angry.
Get
because
your
this
crap
is
together
what-
earlier.
This
and
is
don't
what
influence- yeah.
this is the influence pop culture has, and a lot
Yeah.
of women don't even realize that this is happening.
It's similar to corporate America. I met a woman at an event that I spoke at. It was really a great conversation because she sat down and we were talking. She said, "Oh, I've just been running around. I've been really crazy, this week." And she's probably, I could tell, like late 40s, early 50s, and very professionally dressed. And I said, "Oh, do you have kids? Are you busy with your family?" And she's like, "No, I don't have kids. It's the number one regret of my entire life." And I was like, "Okay, here we go." And she's works for an organization and has given speeches. And she said she's spoken at Turning Point many times. And she says, "I'll tell the kids, don't be me." I absolutely chased the corporate lie that women had to be equal to men. She said, "No, it's really my number one regret is that I chased a career. I was a very big liberal feminist. I had a lot of success. And then, I looked up and I was too old to have kids and got married and thought, what a lie." And that's your point on this, is that Taylor's run around, bought the lie, sold the lie, and now is like, actually, I'm going to marry a butch dude and have kids and stay at home with them.
And
Yeah,
all
like-
of this assumes that this is a sincere
Exactly.
development too. When you make it, here's my eras, and now her new era is trad wife, and then this is just the setup where this record sales go down, and now you can be divorced wife.
My
Exactly,
new era
exactly.
is trad
No,
wife.
I'm totally
2
with
eras
you.
after the hoe era, trad wife era runs in.
Then
But I mean, it also, like, if you take a look at the people that she dated, like, these are all high profile,
Not the London guy that she's still in love with. He's the original.
who, Harry Styles?
No, I don't know his name. No, I don't think it's him. It's not him. It's another guy.
we got a list here in the outline.
Yeah, the guy that,
Taylor Lautner. There were 2 Taylors. Taylor
Yeah, it was
Taylor.
TT. Yeah, Taylor Lautner.
Joe
from-
Jonas.
Hey, I want to say one thing, because you had a great point about women doing all this stuff to their body and all of this. That's invaded the male population.
It's, starting.
And it's all this garbage with TRT, with the testosterone.
Yep.
They're all these guys are on testosterone. And the dangerous thing is if you have low testosterone, it's fine, it's healthy. But if you don't have low testosterone, it's very risky and it can cause all sorts of heart problems. And guys are just on it. And RFK, I mean, it's just ridiculous. He's on TRT, has been for years. That's why he looks the way he does, And it's like, don't do drugs unless they're these kinds of drugs. And that's why you got to take all this stuff with a grain of salt. Gary Brecka, the guy who trained, all these celebrities for movies and all that. And remember Dana White, the UFC? They're all on TRT. I lost 50 pounds in a year. And it's all this, they show him working out in the gym and he's all ripped. It's all BS. It's all TRT. And so that part is, I mean, we have all these testosterone commercials like during NFL games.
So this is just steroids under a new name.
Yeah, it's all it is.
Like if Barry Bonds had said, "No, man, it's just TRT," then he wouldn't have the little asterisk next to the home
and
run
because
record.
it's a hormone, they're like, no big deal,
Oh.
But if you jack yourself up with testosterone, you're going to burn fat and be shredded in like 6 months.
Yeah.
That's just the way it works. And so they're like, but I don't do steroids. And RFK has said that, and you're kind of like, all right, you're kind of full of crap here, like you're on TRT. So it is just kind of.
Yeah, and we see it with everything, not just plastic surgery, not with just the lip fillers, not with. It's also even the Ozempic craze and all the women who are, on Ozempic who probably don't even need to be on Ozempic.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's all of this. But I think the guy from London, if the guy that I'm thinking about, that you're thinking about, that she's still in love with, but I thought she was in love with Travis Kelce, her fiance. There's a lead singer from the group, the 1975, and I can't remember his name. It's like Maddie something.
It's impossible to do the "is she authentic" thing. We just have to take her at her word. I think she really went through all those phases. I think that was also, it would be hard to do all the work required for that if you weren't like halfway in, like head and heart, whether it's good or evil. Like, I think she's into it, but I do think she's into the Chiefs guy and they're engaged. I mean, they're going to get married. That's pretty.
We shall see.
No, they will, because you can't have your divorce era. If you
Your
don't have
divorce
wife
era. Exactly.
This is getting dark. This is getting really dark. Okay.
Get back to
But
me
she
in
was with
10
like
years.
all of these. She dated all of the guys that all the young girls were in love with. You know what I mean? Like, so Harry Styles from One Direction, the biggest boy band in the world at the time. Everyone was dreaming about Harry Styles.
She had a British boyfriend who was just a normal dude.
Well, I do
And
know the
that's-
British boyfriend like recently was somebody that no one knew about, but
Right.
Robert?
he's a lead singer from the group the 1975. I can't remember his name.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, like people like John Mayer, Jake Gyllenhaal, Taylor Lautner from the Twilight series, Joe Jonas from the Jonas Brothers. Like these were all like those, boys that girls were like crushing on and wish they could be with. You know what I
Nobody
mean?
wants to
And
be with Travis Kelce.
I know that's
That's
what's weird.
the irony of it is, I mean, I could understand Taylor Swift like dating Tom Brady after his divorce. That would have been just ESPN. Nobody would have criticized her, I think. I don't know what it is about the Kelce thing, but I
The
could
Hall of Fame player who won 3 Super Bowls. That seems pretty.
No. He's a big deal, but he's a tight end. I mean, come on. He's not even like a wideout. But I just could understand her dating a bigger celebrity. He's probably, before he started dating her,
Did
the
anyone
80th
really know?
most
Yeah.
famous NFL player, don't you
Yep.
think?
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah. So she made him a thing.
Right.
He was like, yeah, he's a good tight end. He's an all-pro guy. But that was it. You didn't like notice him or think about him. And then he starts dating her, and he's this megastar, as his brother. They've done a great job building both their careers and their podcast off of Taylor Swift being like in their family.
And of course, she had hit songs that she wrote about all her exes. So like Tim McGraw was a hit song that she wrote about.
She dated
an ex.
Tim McGraw?
No, the song Tim McGraw.
There's a
like
song
there's
Tim
for each
It's actually good.
era
I know the
of
song.
boyfriends, she had like hit songs that she wrote.
But the
about
song
all of
Tim
them.
McGraw is about somebody who's not Tim McGraw.
Correct.
Got it.
I think she would have been a little too young for Tim McGraw.
But it's
the
about
real Tim
listening to
McGraw.
Tim McGraw. Yeah.
Country boys
and then of course, and then
getting down on the farm.
He's got Faith Hill. That's the end of the conversation.
yeah, you guys,
Um,
you guys.
that's a great song.
I said it for you. I was disappointed there was no.
You rub in a Jeep, man, he knows how to grow 'em, if you know what I mean. My
Oh my
kids
gosh.
love that song. It's like the textbook redneck song. Go download it. For all you listeners and viewers, go get Down on the Farm by Tim McGraw. That's old school Tim McGraw.
I've never sung on the podcast before, and that was a delayed reaction by Sean, but now I feel affirmed. I did that for you. I know
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a great redneck. Actually, with the beat, great two-step song, great dance song. We're killing you.
You are. You're killing me.
I know you're not going to be able to make it. We're going to prop you up. Okay, so I want to go back to the authenticity thing. One of my relatives sent me the thing on the wedding. Did y'all see the wedding? This is actually kind of funny.
They're married already?
No.
I
Sorry.
was like, what wedding?
No, so she's hanging out with the Kelsey family, which apparently appears to be a pretty like normal family, right? They're like wrestling and making fun of each other and eating Cheetos. So their cousin is getting married, who's just a regular like middle class person. Okay. So they all go to the wedding because they're a very close like family. So Taylor, out of kind of like respect for the bride and the groom, sort of asks if she can come instead of just going with Travis to this wedding. Okay, like I don't want to distract from your day, and I realize I'm like the biggest celebrity in the world, so I'm not going to come. And of course, the bride on the opposite is like, holy crap, I could have Taylor Swift at my wedding. Yes, come. And she's like, but I'm not going to sing. I don't want to. She's like, no, just come. Like, you're part of our family, that kind of thing. So Taylor Swift just goes, and they don't tell anybody that she's coming. And she's just like walking around, and some people don't even recognize her because she's in like a normal just dress that you would wear to a wedding. And this video gets circulated because finally, like, one of the bridesmaids is like, holy crap, that's Taylor Swift. So they start like taking selfies with her, and she's just like mingling with this family and holding like babies and stuff like that.
I'd recognize that Brazilian butt lift anywhere.
No, she didn't have that. That's
Oh.
Kim Kardashian.
Shoot.
Okay, get your
Kardashian
Brazilian butt lift facts right, buddy. And why don't you frankly give one yourself? Okay, I think it'll do you a lot of good. A lot of good. Steve had some work done. He's looking pretty nice, actually. So
Oh my god.
that it's stuff like that I'm like, is that a natural, like, oh, she's normal, she went to a wedding in the country and all that,
Just happened to get picked up by the media.
having to get picked up by the media? Is it leaked? I don't know, but it is it's it's out there as far as one of those things of like, she could be trying to be normal. But according to Steve Carlin, and this could be true, that's just so she can have the I'm a normal person era
How
score.
weird that the television cameras were out when I helped change that guy's tire. I don't know.
That is the problem, though. You bring up a good point. If she has this over self-analyzation of who she's dating and her Eras tour and and
She strikes me as a covert narcissist.
she's
Meaning
good at
she's
hiding.
Yeah, get
hiding
some.
it. Yeah.
How we lost the Texas-Mexican War, I'll never know, man. You people are ruthless. You will cut down and burn. S.A., you are just ruthless with her. I love it.
I know. I'm angry with Taylor Swift. I'm
Okay.
angry with all the nonsense she sells.
Okay.
And, yeah.
All right, so here we go.
Well, let's back up just a second because, for example, in her couple of song lyrics. So in her All Too Well song from 2012, she says F the patriarchy, and it's very subtle because I went back to listen to the song
and
to
I
the
thought
lyric.
the patriarchy started with Trump. This is 2012.
Exactly.
But we're under Obama. Women are equal.
Yeah, so she's F the patriarchy very subtly in her song. And this is like, again, it's not really overt, like it's very subtle.
How do you subtly say F the patriarchy?
It's just kind of it's in the
Because
lyrics.
then the one thing I know about Taylor Swift is all the fans have to like extra analyze everything, right? So
Yeah,
did she
yep,
say that? Did she not say?
exactly.
Is that what's going on here?
Yeah. And so then in the song The Man, I don't know what year that came out, she complains about the disparities between men and women and how she would be the man if only she weren't a woman.
Her $2 billion
Yeah.
is only 85 cents on the dollar if she were a man.
So you
Seems
see, like, again,
sus.
she's selling this idea to
Yeah.
young girls, and now comes the Swift in shift.
the s-
The shifts
the
in
s-
Swift.
The Swift
The
shift.
Swift shift,
The
yeah.
Swift shift. Say that
The Swift
5
shift.
times. Now that she's 35 and engaged to Kelsey, okay, the Swifties and the lefties, you wrote,
crashing out.
are crashing out, which is a total Gen Z. This is Ramona being young. They're crashing out over this song, "The Life of a Showgirl" album. Okay, so so the album is "Life of a Showgirl." Here's the song, "Eldest Daughter" lyrics. When I said I don't believe in marriage, that was a lie. Ooh, she's converting. I went to Latin Mass and am being baptized. Oh, no, I made that up. Okay. This is the wish list lyrics. Just want you, huh? Have a couple of kids, got the whole block looking like you. We tell the world to leave us the F alone, and they do. Wow. Got me dreaming about a driveway with a basketball hoop. So she wants a home and a family, and she
And a whole
uses an
block of
F-bomb
kids
to
that
express-
look like Travis.
And for everybody to, quote, leave us the F alone.
Their kids would be huge. Isn't she 6 foot?
She's tall. I don't
She's-
think I think
She's not 6 foot?
But I
Okay.
know that she's tall.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, their kids would be like amazing athletes. Okay. So the Swifties go nuts because Tay-Tay wants to get married and have a basketball hoop. She's giving trad wife vibes and, quote, Taylor is aging out to be a white girl.
She's aging out of being a white girl, is what somebody's
aging out of being a white
Yeah.
girl.
What does that mean?
Okay, this
don't
is
know what that means.
This is what it means. Meaning that now she's middle-aged, she can no longer keep up with her brand, so she has to resort to selling marriage and
Oh,
children.
yeah. I'm down with that interpretation.
So why can't she just want marriage and kids because of what she's done the last 15 years?
Everything she's done has been manufactured until now.
If you promote woke, it bites you in the ass. And this is exactly what's happened because now she's like, they're so woke that you can't even just do what you want. Now I want to get married and have kids. Oh, you're a sellout. You know, you're not really one of us.
Like, I don't have a problem with the fact that she wants to be married and have children. I have no problem
No,
with
I
that.
think it's a great
That's
thing.
a great thing. But what I have a problem with is that you've been selling a lie to women for, the last, 10 plus years. And it goes back again to if you want to wait until you're 35 to have children, what does that look like for the average woman? So now you have to go back and say, okay, you've got all of these women who've said, I don't need a man. And we know that's a lie. I know that that's a lie. You know, when it comes to what really fulfills you, marriage and children is fulfilling. Marriage and children is beautiful and wonderful. I'm not saying that it's necessarily for every single woman, right? But if you're not going to be married and children, then the alternate is to what? Live, you know, a celibate life, serving the Lord, those sort of things, right? So I'm not saying that, but what we're seeing now is an increase in the number of women who do not want to have children.
Yeah.
And it's easy to be 35 when you can quote unquote afford IVF, for example.
Yeah.
Because what is going to happen if, you know, Taylor Swift does end up getting married, does really want children, and she's 35 years old? The fertility rate at that point has plummeted.
Don't say that to Mary Lisa.
Well,
We had like
not
4
in my
kids
case
since
either.
35.
Not in my case either. But I'm saying for the average
Yeah.
woman, the fertility rates are plummeting. And again, it makes me angry that you're selling this lie. Even if it's manufactured, it's a manufactured lie that you sold women. And so now they're angry. They feel like they've been backstabbed. I mean, some
Maybe
of the
not, but
backlash.
what about the 18-year-old Taylor Swift fan or the 16-year-old Taylor Swift fan, like right now?
I don't know.
They're going to be
Yeah.
the rad trad
Yeah.
Taylor Swift fans, and they're like, yeah, I don't have to go through all that drama and waste time. Like, even Taylor figured it out. She was 35. I'm going to figure it out at 25. So,
Like, some of the takes on it is pretty interesting to, like, from the fact that she's racist because she
yeah.
wants
No,
kids
it
to
all
look like her husband.
This is why we're covering
and
this,
she's-
because if they went after Taylor Swift, like Taylor Swift's cult, some of them loved it because they thought she was an idiot, and now they're like, oh, this is good. She actually turned out to be normal, which is how she started, seemingly. But a lot of them went after her and said she's a sellout. She wants a wife, and she wants a husband and kids and a basketball hoop, and how dare her. And it's not even that strong of a statement, and they like, go out to crucify her. And this is my point. You created the woke stuff, and it eventually comes after you. When there's no more people to lynch, they just find someone. And now you're that someone, even though you helped build the movement. So,
So,
The
like,
revolution always eats its own.
but to your point, Steve, where you said, well, maybe she wants to get married and then she can be in her divorced era or whatever.
The role of Heather will be played by Steve today.
I know. Do you want to jump off a cliff? We've got some good material to help you. Oh my gosh. Taylor Swift converted. I don't believe it. She's building
Heather, I need
she's
you.
building she's rebuilding the cathedral in Kansas City. Oh, my
gosh.
word.
No, I just feel like,
She did buy a house in Kansas City.
oh,
With a basketball hoop.
interesting. With a basketball hoop.
Basketball hoop.
And with in a neighborhood of conservatives and a bunch of white folks with blue eyes.
I'm sure it's not a gated community.
We're in Kansas City a lot, as you know, because we have kids in college up there. So I will. I actually did this to embarrass my girls, my teenagers, my college girls, but it didn't work because they were interested in it. So I wanted to ask the waiter, like I didn't tell them, but the waiter came over and we're at some like random restaurant in Kansas City, so it was just being like stupid dad stuff. And I was like, "Hey, has Taylor Swift ever eaten here?" And I was waiting for. They were just like, and he was like, "Yeah, no, she did. She actually rented the whole place out like after a Chiefs game. You know, it was like a sports bar." And they were just like, thought that was the coolest thing. And I was like, "I did that so y'all would roll your eyes. Like we never want to go out in public with our dad ever again." And they both looked at me and said, "We knew you were going to ask that whenever we sat down." I was like, "Dang, I got to get some
They're
new
on to you,
material."
Sean.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
on to
yeah.
you.
But it was just funny because he was like, "Yeah," and you know, it was like he answered.
I guess at the end of the day, I want this to be real. I want this part of her life to be
I don't think
authentic.
you do. I think
No,
you
no,
want
no.
her to get hit by a bus
No,
tomorrow.
no. I want that she actually wants to be married and
Sure.
have children. I want, and I hope that that is true. But I think the concern is, again, what happens to the real women, your everyday women? Because again, if she actually does have children, are they going to? By what means is she having
Okay.
those children?
Rich
Okay.
people can afford to be stupid. Poor people can't.
Oh,
I like that take,
Look,
Steve.
Okay, can I have a take?
Yeah,
Just on
please.
behalf of the listener and the viewer. If you are dumb enough to follow a pop star,
That's the moral.
you
of the
reap
story.
what you sow. I mean, I know we have fatherless children and all this stuff, but I mean, there's just other things going on where you can realize like they're a celebrity, and and you have on here people look at Madonna and they're just like, why am I so glad I'm not her? J Lo, all those kinds of people, and I don't know.
You just need to hang it up, Grandma. Like, you know what I mean?
Isn't this sexist though?
Nah.
Jerry Sein,
Ramona is on fire.
gosh,
I'm here for it.
Jerry Seinfeld slept with all of New York in his show and maybe in reality, right? And then he retired, multimillionaire at 50 years of age, whatever he was. And he got married and he had like 3 kids. And now he does stand up and talk about his kids and it's hysterical. And everybody's happy for Jerry.
I don't think Jerry had the influence over the culture that.
Whoa! We changed our language. Soup Nazi. I mean, we have a whole
I guess I'm saying global,
world
like a
reference.
global influence that Taylor Swift has. I don't think of Jerry Seinfeld as having that type of influence. I'm not saying he wasn't popular.
He doesn't. I mean, people weren't flying to Frankfurt.
They weren't
Germany.
spending
They weren't
$10,000 on a
taking out
ticket
loans.
going.
No, I
yeah.
get he doesn't have the cult following. He was making normal
Popularity, yes,
There's
but
like
not.
one a decade at this level. It's,
More,
it's
yeah.
like Taylor, Beyonce, Michael Jackson.
No, Taylor crushed her. I would say the last one we had was Michael Jackson.
Okay.
At this level, where just people are coming undone. They can't operate in society because Taylor Swift is like in a town that they were once in. Like, yeah, we drove through
Like
Nashville.
the tears and
Yes.
the crying and the.
Yes.
Yep.
And I would say Michael Jackson,
The Beatles, maybe?
the Beatles, Elvis, Madonna. I think Madonna was at that level at one point.
She's kind of.
Well, she's gone downhill. Like,
But I'm saying at
but
that
I mean,
point,
in her
she was-
heyday,
yeah.
Madonna was.
That was my first concert.
Yeah, I'm telling y'all, I must have been, and my sister listens to this podcast, so this will be quite comical. I remember this like yesterday. I must have been in the 3rd or 4th grade, and my mom, who could just throw down like if she wanted to, and she wanted to. My mom and sister just knocked down, drag out, woman on woman argument because my mom would not allow my sister to go see Madonna with her friends. And like, I'll pay for the ticket. No, like none of that, just all out. And I remember just like a little kid, and I remember thinking, like, this is the 4th grade, right? I'm just happy. I got like my Herschel Walker jersey on. I'm like, go Cowboys. And I remember thinking, but Madonna's trash. Like I just had enough. Like I knew because
You had the wisdom. When you
the
were a
whole
kid,
thing
yeah.
is you're always kind of on your sibling's side, right? And I just remember thinking, and loved my sister, was very close to my sister, and just thinking, I think she's wrong on this. Like mom is really right, and this comes up to this day.
Oh, fun.
And my sister's like, I was such an idiot. Like why did I want to go see Madonna? But today I'm like, I don't know. That would have been pretty cool. Like it was like the height of Madonna's fame. It's kind of neat. But yeah, there's not a lot at this level. This was my original argument. Okay, I know we've got all the. I think we hate success. I think this is what the left has done. They demonize success. Taylor's popular and she's dating a dude, and that's why they hate her. I'm taking the purist attitude and giving her the benefit of the doubt.
I would like to congratulate Ramona on some of the most beautiful writing I've ever seen at the end of this outline. Swift has contributed nothing good. In the end, her engagement and her new lyrics are most likely just another way for her to stay relevant in her middle age without looking like a desperate 56-year-old Jennifer Lopez or worse, a 67-year-old Madonna. You deserve a pizza and a high five.
Let's get the high five now.
Okay, I'm gonna give you some therapy right now because this is very important. Okay. This is we're at the hour, so we're gonna wrap up. Okay, I get it. You came out fiery, Steve. You need to think about an angle on this that could be dangerous. Okay, which is one day she's gonna have son-in-laws. Okay, And if your mother-in-law wrote this, I'm nervous at Thanksgiving. I'm very. She wants them to be nervous. You want to say that to my face, Junior? Just the mother-in-law that will rip your head off. Oh man.
I'm grateful because usually I'm the crazy voice on this podcast, and now I feel like I've got an ally. I don't feel alone anymore. I feel like I've aged out of my whiteness or whatever. Actually, I don't know how that relates.
You would never age out of your whiteness. No,
probably not.
It'd just absolutely be impossible.
I'm gonna decenter it like Matt Walsh said.
With all of it said, it's you made very, very good points. This would have been a good one. I'm interested in Heather's take on this because I think Heather,
you're going to be in my camp. I know. I feel it.
If
I think Heather is a Swiftie. Is Heather a Swiftie?
Heather
Can I say that on the air?
doesn't think Kenny Chesney is pro-life enough. I don't think she's gonna get on board with.
But Heather's age is right there where she could be a major Swift. Like Heather could have secretly gone to like Frankfurt, Germany to see Taylor Swift.
I do have to give a nod to Hannah, who is the resident Gen Z on our team.
And Hannah's what, 24
who
years
shared
old?
a lot of input for this outline.
No, she did.
And so she's obviously sees it from my perspective as well.
I see it from your perspective. I'm a little disturbed by the passion, frankly. But yeah.
Need my passions, Sean.
The passion.
The driving force behind everything.
The passion was very. Just shake it off. Shake it off. I know that
like
song.
the pig and Sing, the mother pig.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
yeah,
me.
like the.
Because she's got all those kids, and so she's got to get on stage and shake it off. That's
shake. Oh my gosh! Are any wrap up, Steve? I know you were on your phone earlier booking all the plastic surgeries and stuff, but
the BBL.
Yeah, my BBL.
He's going for his BBL next week.
Yeah, and I shouldn't Google that. I don't know what that is.
Why is it Brazilian? Why can't it be?
That's a good question.
Florida
I find that to be very racist.
Cultural
and
appropriation.
Offensive. Are they trying to say Brazilian women have big behinds? I mean, I don't know.
Well,
I'm not okay with
I
that.
think they would be saying they don't. Therefore, they invented a surgery there to help them out. So.
Or they want the surgery to look so that their rear ends look like a Brazilian.
I think this can only go south from here. I think we're in dangerous times.
We need our kids listening to good, wholesome music like Bob Seger and Gordon Lightfoot.
George Strait. Thank you, George. Keep it real. And he has the largest crowd ever at Kyle Field. So Gig'em, home of the Fighting Texas Aggies. So George Strait set the record. He beat Taylor Swift. They said they slipped him a note that said she wrote him a note that said, "Congrats on beating my record."
That was just phony.
Forget Taylor.
Phony.
It was a fake note, fake handwriting. Jeez. Please send us your feedback or not at podcast@40daysforlife.com. Also, put it on the YouTube page. Any of your comments on any of this. This was first brought up to me, actually by a reporter, that this was like a cold. I was interviewed on it. The story never aired about Taylor getting attacked.
And if there's a
wanting to be married,
family-friendly way to tell me what this BBL is, so that I don't get in trouble for looking it up on the work computer.
We're not Googling any. That's definitely not something you want to Google. We don't encourage you to do that either. So please rate, review, and share this podcast. And we will see you next time. God bless you.